Gav said that Otto might know something.
Goodness, you're as pale as a poltergeist. Why don't you sit down and have a nice bowl of Molly's brown?
A shadow looming in his path, his life hung by a thread. Yet still he clung unto the mast and bellowed, "All ahead!"
You don't know what you're talking about. The odor's what gives Chance's stew its, depth. And that's what makes it superior to any old lizard livers.
Oh, please. Have you even tried the fried mortress? Taste, smell, texture. It beats your beloved stew hands down on every count. Now that's a masterpiece.
We all know that bearers have a resilience to the ill effects of ether. But don't you find it strange that there are those who, despite being free of magic's burden, can seemingly pass through a flood without consequence? I asked our luresman how this could be, and he suggested that it might have something to do with bloodlines. Many of the realm's dominants are born to specific families, you see. The Rasfields, the Lesages. So there must be something in those families' blood that provides them with the potential to become vessels for icons. But what about the ones who don't awaken? Could it be that this same potential provides them with something of the same immunity? Your uncle's recent travels with you across the ether-ravaged countryside would certainly suggest so. And yet, what about Gav? Well, in smaller, more isolated populations, bloodlines are less diluted. Hence, Shiva's dominant sometimes awakening in the child of a common northerner. And our scouts not having turned 100 times over.
Let me help. I know my letters.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today? The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Let me help. I know my letters. Most of the time.
Very well. All right.
Those imps are going to break that.
Which song should we listen?
You look like you could do with a drink. Shout if you need topping up. Don't be a stranger, Sid. Welcome back, Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
Trouble with your gear, or... What's saying Fordian, dear? Not bad, if I do say so myself. No scratches, all right? You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. And?
Oh! There's no one like our Nan. Your lad's worth double that. And I've never looked back. Be seeing ya.
My Lord Marquis, I heard about Eastpool, that some of my fellow Guardians are to build a new home there, both for themselves and for Madame Martha's bearers. Is it true?
It's true. The village is to be rebuilt.
I have many fond memories of Eastpool. When I was a child, we would visit my aunt and uncle often. They would lavish attention upon me as if I were the son they never had. I went to see Aunt Hannah after my uncle passed away, but not nearly as often as I should have.
Oscar, I'd like you to assist Sir Wade in the rebuilding efforts.
But my lord, my training is not yet complete. I couldn't possibly.
I warned you I might not be the easiest of masters, but I'm not as hard-hearted as that. Go. Be with your aunt. Rebuild her home. Is what she would have wanted.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord. I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport, but as soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
If it's knowledge you seek, we've tomes aplenty to guide you in your search.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with Akashic and the valleys are full of ether?
How indeed. My men and I lost an entire day avoiding a flood that wasn't there a fortnight ago.
Clive? What is it that you wish to learn?
Of course. One must understand one's place in the world. Very good.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised? All yours. All done?
How are we?
We'll be heading back to Canver soon. You let us know if you need an escort.
Full of ether.
How indeed. My men and I lost an entire day avoiding a flood that wasn't there a fortnight ago.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
If it's knowledge you seek, we've tomes of plenty to guide you in your search.
This is in the
He's a surly soaker.
Sid! Heard you were in Canver fetching young Ned.
Miss Shirley, how can we learn to be clever like Miss Midadol?
Do you think this ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me Mid is all right.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Alembic gonna help us make. Just you wait, Sid. Just you wait!
I know this is your hideaway, but you really shouldn't be in here. If Mid caught you rifling through her research, she'd have your head, then mine for letting you.
What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these. remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, then...
Everyone in Port is all
Well, did you find anything?
Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with a Kashik and the valleys are full of ether?
Lord Marquis, you seem unwell. I know His Grace has asked that I remain here with your people. But if you were to require my services, I could leave for the Free Cities at once.
Who's that? I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope, nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Who's a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.